and her brand new album entitled Boys for Palais is due for release on the 22nd of this month. From that album, Caught a Light Sneeze. A big welcome, please, for Tori Amos. Terrific performance, sort of in two places at the one time.
Yeah, get a little out, right?
Yeah, excellent. You are now also living among us. I want to find out why all these people want to live with us.
Because there's so many layers for a creative person like me. Yeah, there's the religious thing, and being a minister's daughter, there's a lot to work off of there.
Okay.
You know, as you know, my father being a minister, and sometimes it feeds the fire a little bit. But there's also the tuath de Danann, you know, that side that's the storyteller. And being part Native American, I'm really drawn to the storytellers.
Okay. Does that explain, by the way, that your father being a minister, why you decided to record the new album in a church in Wicklow rather than a studio?
Partly. I'm very at home in churches. Also, this is a real passionate record for me. And I'm claiming my woman. So I figured the place to do it was in the church.
All right. Making a sort of political point as well.
Well, I think, you know, when I grew up, it was very fine to be an intellectual woman, but a passionate woman wasn't really okay. And so I've been trying to merge the two, that it's all divine. And I felt like to go to the church to claim my passion
All right. And I
That's the place
suppose
to do it.
you got a nice ambience in terms of sound in the church. Or was that important?
The church became actually an instrument on the record. The harpsichord and the piano were all recorded in the church, and that became part of the record.
Okay. Now, I mentioned that you were a child prodigy. I don't know how easily that sits on your shoulders, a musical prodigy. And the kind of music that you studied would be very far cry from the music you now perform. I mean, was there a crossing of the Rubicon at any stage that, you know, leaving a classical life behind and going into more contemporary styles?
No, they kicked me out.
Ah,
Yeah.
that explains that.
Yeah.
But I mean, did you have a love for classical music, or was it something that many people here will, you know, remember being drummed into them as kids? You know, you go there, you learn the piano, you learn the violin.
Well, the thing about it was they weren't open to any freedom. And I'm like a creature of freedom. You know, it's about being able to express and being, even with the ancient instruments like the harpsichord. I really wanted to, you know, bring it some chocolate sauce, and that wasn't okay.
That was not okay,
No.
so you had to leave that behind. Do you still listen to classical music at all?
Yeah, I do, sometimes.
But it's not an influence quite clearly in your work.
Not as much now.
How do you find the harpsichord, the Gannon harpsichord? Very
Wonderful.
rare instrument.
Yeah, wonderful.
It's a replica, really, of older
Sure.
of older forms.
Yes.
Are you going to tour with this album?
I begin in February. We do 200 cities.
Are you going to do any Irish city?
Absolutely. We're coming in the summer. After the States, we come back to Ireland.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you in action.
Thank
Is
you.
home, by the way, do you call home Ireland now, or do you still regard USA as the home of your heart?
Well, part of me is very connected to Ireland, and I feel safe when I come here. But my mother's in the States. So.
That explains everything. You say no more, Tori.
Yeah.
Tori, thank you very much for being with us
Thank
tonight.
you.
Very nice. Thank you. Tori Amos.